Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzongo. Here's what's coming up on the program right now. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara talks tough, maintains that the State Assembly only exists out of his benevolence as the lawmakers veto him for the 7th time on the legislation. Federal government denies contemplating hosting foreign military base on Nigerian soil after reports emerged that conversations are on in that direction. And the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest region closed ranks ahead of the Ondo State governorship election as the drum of support for the party's candidate, Fubara-RSHA. We kick off the tracking of the policy from the denial by the federal government that Nigeria is considering hosting a foreign military base in the country. A report the federal government says is false. Reacting to the reports in the media, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mr. Mohammed Idris, has dismissed those claims. According to him, the story is the work of rumor mongers looking for avenues to cause disaffection between the government and the people.
Tell you that the federal government of Nigeria has neither received any request to set up a military base or is even contemplating setting up one. I don't know where it's coming from. We think that this is not factual, this is misleading, and this is not patriotic. We feel that people should say what is right for our country. The federal government of Nigeria is not in any way contemplating or inviting any foreign national to set up a base. But of course, you know that we have collaboration and cooperation with foreign countries to fight insecurity in this country, and we continue to do that. But no such military base is in contemplation by the Nigerian government.
Standing and feud between the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, and the State Assembly, who have for the 7th time vetoed the governor over the state public procurement law. At the end of plenary on Monday, the lawmakers vetoed the governor on the bill before them and passed it for a 3rd reading. The Speaker, Mr. Martin Amewule, accused the governor of financial irresponsibility and recklessness in the way he was spending money without appropriation.
It's another sitting of the Rivers State House of Assembly, and one of the items on the agenda for the day is the governor's handling of state financing, which the Speaker condemns.
For those that may not understand today, tomorrow they will understand the position that this House has taken on most of these matters. The Rivers State Public Procurement Amendment Bill, which members have just spoken about, which we passed and forwarded to His Excellency the Governor for his assent, which he has also chosen to withhold his assent, is one bill that seeks to secure taxpayers' money. This bill seeks to ensure that taxpayers' money are not spent arbitrarily. Distinguished colleagues, it is no longer news that the Governor of Rivers State, he has chosen not to appoint the chairman and members of the Bureau on Public Procurement. As we speak, there is no bureau in place, there is no DG known to law. The governor at will spends taxpayers' money without due process. And the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching how a sitting governor will be spending taxpayers' money without due process, awarding contracts without a budget, awarding contracts that were never even in the budget of last year, and doing so, and they are boasting that nothing will happen.
Without wasting time, the Deputy Speaker asks his colleagues to veto the governor on the State Public Procurement Amendment Bill.
representation of the Rivers State Public Procurement Amendment Bill 2024. Mr. Speaker, one important thing that I've learned from you as Speaker of the 10th Assembly is that you are always following the law and procedure. Mr. Speaker, Parliament all over the world, when properly constituted, as we are rightly constituted this morning, everything they do is done according to law, procedure, and best practice. And that is what we are about to do this morning. The bill shall become law, and the assent of the governor shall not be required.
Of particular concern is the issue of Emowa local government, where the staff are yet to be paid their March salaries.
Our trip in our meetings, we discovered that the Emowa local government staff have not been paid salary up to this moment. Our further findings reveal that there was an instruction to the civil servants in that place who are the signatories not to sign relevant documents to access funds.
And the case of Emowa is now more pronounced. Like the chairman of the committee rightly pointed out, to this day, no staff of Emowa local government has been paid salary for the month of March, both political office holders and civil servants there. Why have they not been paid? Because an impostor who was directed by the governor sits there in the commission, contrary to the Rivers State Local Government Service Commission regulations.
Next, the Speaker signals the passage of the second reading of the Rivers State Public Procurement Amendment Bill 2024.
The Rivers State Public Procurement Amendment Bill 2024 is hereby passed for a second time in line with Section 100, subsection 5 of the 1999 Constitution as altered. The clerk will forward copies of this new law once Mr. Speaker appends his signature to relevant authorities.
This is the latest in the political saga involving Governor Siminala Fubara and the House of Assembly. It remains to be seen when the Faceoff will finally be resolved. Charles Oporum, Channels Television News.
That drama continues. While that was going on, Governor Fubara is still talking tough. He's saying the lawmakers can cease to act as legislators if he decides so. Governor Fubara stated this while addressing a delegation of political and traditional leaders from Bayelsa State who visited him to seek an end to the political crisis in the state and an improved relationship between both states.
These traditional and political leaders from Bayelsa State are here on a courtesy visit to Governor Siminala Fubara at the River State Government House in Port Harcourt. The delegation, led by a former governor of Bayelsa State and current Senator Seriake Dixon, includes notable figures such as the first military governor of Old River State and traditional ruler of Tuan Brass, Alfred Dete Spiff, as well as the chairman of the Bayelsa Council of Traditional Rulers, along with several other traditional rulers, former state and national assembly members, former commissioners, and other political leaders. The leader of the delegation says the visit is on two grounds: to call for an end to the political crisis in River State and seek an improved relationship between Bayelsa and River State that once existed as one state.
The creation of Bayelsa State out of Old River State was not and should not be made to see as if it's a severance of the relationship between our people. It is not a war of Jericho, of division, hatred, and acrimony between our people. But it's a move which, well utilized, will accelerate our development and national stake.
Acknowledging the concern of his neighbors, Governor Fubara explains how much restraint he's exercised since the crisis began in the state. He acknowledges the contributions of his predecessor and Minister of the FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, to his emergence as governor, but promises not to worship any man.
The young people, those group of men who claim that are assembly members are not assembly members. They are not existing. I want it to be on record. I accepted that peace accord to give them a floating. That's the truth. There was nothing in that peace accord that's a constitutional issue. It's a political solution to a problem. I want you to see the sacrifice I've made in the cause of allowing peace to be in our state. I can say here with all amount of boldness, I've never called any policeman anywhere to go and harass anybody. I've never gone anywhere to do anything against anybody. But what happens to people that are supporting me? They are being harassed. They are being detained. There is no week that somebody doesn't come here with one letter of invitation for trump-up charges and all those things.
On the relationship between both states, Governor Fubara condemns the crisis that had existed before he became governor.
We were separated because of political purposes to expand development. But we need to be united so that the economy of these two states will grow. There's no need for us to have any arguments over assets. There's no need for us to have any disagreement over issues of who owns this or who doesn't own that. One way or the other, we're even interrelated. That is the truth.
It is expected that this visit and other efforts will help strengthen the bond of unity between the two states.
And as the focus of our conversation, that ever-festering feud between the Rivers State House of Assembly and the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara. It seems to be there's no end to it. It's almost a year in office since he assumed that position as governor of the state. And ever since that period, just a few months into his administration, there's been one challenge or the other. And we've been joined on the program by one of the Rivers elders and the rights activist, Mrs. Ankyo Briggs. He joins us via Zoom. Madam Briggs, thank you so much for coming on the program. Madam Briggs, if you can hear me, just to be sure you can hear me. Oh dear. Okay, so just to give a bit of a background to this conversation, it's almost like everyone, literally, if you've been following the politics of Rivers State for a while, you would have understood what is going on. And there's been this ongoing battle that stems from the disagreement between the incumbent governor and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, who is the FCT minister. And it's been one chapter of crisis to the other. And the latest has been this back and forth between the House of Assembly and the governor. And one of the things that has been the highlight of that disagreement is the fact that after the president intervened with an 8-point resolution on how to broker some level of peace, there were things that were expected from the governor in that resolution, and there were other things that were expected from the members of the assembly. But majority of expectations were things from the governor. And one of the major issue is the issue of representing the budget, 800 billion naira budget to the State House of Assembly, which was presented to a House of 4 at the peak of that crisis. Let's see whether we can get Ms. Ankyo Briggs. Madam Briggs, are you there now?
Yes, I don't know if you can see me or hear me. I hope so.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. So just because of time, let's weigh in straight on this very latest controversy. Well, it's been building. We don't know when it's going to be a crescendo. We've arrived at a crescendo. It has plateaued. It's coming up or it's coming down. Everybody seems just to be watching by the sidelines what's playing out. The latest being this series of veto. For the 7th time, the Rivers State House of Assembly has vetoed the governor.
Yes. Sadly, what is happening in Rivers State is in no way in the interest of the people of Rivers State. It's not in the interest of politics. It's not in the interest of service. It is just a handful of people who are against the people of Rivers State and the governor of Rivers State, pushing their personal agenda and using both illegal and legal means to achieve what they want. Now, if we go by what happened yesterday, both at the so-called members of the Rivers State Assembly, which by law of the Constitution, by Section 109, and going by other precedents, which have been confirmed by people like Falana, is that these people are no longer representing the people of Rivers State. Now, I've heard some journalists, even this morning on other radio or television programs, asking the governor to live up to what he has signed. Number one, the document that the governor signed is very clear. It is unconstitutional. The governor has also made it very clear that he signed that document because of peace. Now, what the president made the governor to do are what Rivers people and some elders and leaders are objecting to, while some are in favor of it. Now, what the State of Assembly, the so-called State of Assembly members are doing are putting obstacles and opposing the governor every step of the way. And some of us are saying that the court of law should actually be the final call as to justify whether these people are members of the assembly or not. If they are not, then whatever they are doing is illegal, and it will only bring more problems to the state of Rivers State. And we are objecting to what these lawmakers, these so-called lawmakers, are doing. If you don't want to work with the governor, then you should not be in his cabinet. They've resigned before. They should resign again. Now, we have lawmakers that have left their original party and have gone to another party and have come back to claim that they are lawmakers. They are not lawmakers in the eyes of the law. And so the governor is right. If he ignores what they are doing and what they are saying, they are just being troublesome. And if the people of Rivers State does not allow what they are doing, they eventually will not get away with it. This is unacceptable, what these people are doing to Rivers State, by law and by any other that you look at it.
So, madam, two questions in one. So the argument is also the fact that in good conscience, consensuously, the governor saw the provisions, allow me to use that word, of that resolution and clearly saw what was written, but he went ahead to sign, given the fact that he has given his word. Signature means I have given my word and you can hold me to it. So that's why they're asking, why didn't he follow through? Why cherry pick?
Well, I mean, the truth of the matter is, this is a service that he is serving the people of Rivers State. The government of Rivers State is not his personal company that he is running. Because if it's a company he's running under these circumstances, he will run it aground. This is a government of Rivers people. And if he has signed a document, and he made it very clear that he signed it for the sake of peace. Now, what is transpiring is that he is not even getting the peace on the reason why he signed that document. And so if the governor is deciding based on the problems that they are putting in front of him, no longer to recognize these people, then so be it. Look, I mean, there are examples that we can use, like in Jonathan's era. When Jonathan became the president, there was an issue of, okay, let us use what was the word that they used, which I don't remember it because
Doctrine
I don't
of necessity.
like it. Thank you, my brother. Of necessity. Now, if they have used, if the governor has accepted that and had, for the sake of peace, to move on in the government, and he is still not getting the peace, then the necessity issue is no longer valid. because he signed those documents for the sake of peace. And does the governor of Rivers State have peace? No. Do Rivers people have political peace? Do they even have security because of these issues? No, we don't. And so the president must take note of this. He made the governor to sign this. And in signing that, he also promised the governor, whether openly or in body language or whatever, that by signing that, he will now make sure that the other party is also living up to expectation. So if the other party is not living up to expectation, why should anybody expect the governor of Rivers State to continue to be held against his will in a document that is very obviously and clearly was never in his interest, was never in the interest of Rivers people, and continues to be not in his interest? Something must give, and this is the beginning of that giving. Then so be it. I want to very quickly also address an issue here, because I actually watched the video where the governor was referring to Rivers State's problem being that of lack of elders and leaders. I totally disagree with that, and so do a lot of my colleagues in the elders forum in Rivers State. We stood firm by the governor and with the governor because it is the right thing to do. And so to say that there are no leaders is not true. What they have is political leaders. And it's not political leaders that we need in Rivers State today. We need owners of the Rivers.
My apologies. We're totally out of time, but I must chip in this question. If you can help me respond to it in about a minute. There have been these amendments we've talked about. Of concern is the issue of the local government amendment law, which now empowers the House of Assembly to extend the tenure of the chairman and the councillors by 6 months in cases where the governor or the state electoral commission refuses to carry out. Those are the laws, 7 of them. 1 was consolidated, and then the latest one. So when you look at what is going on now, they are zooming in on issue of procurement, say he's spending money illegally. Are you worried that they are encircling the governor politically, and if we're not careful, they may be heading for an impeachment? 1 minute.
Very definitely. I mean, the people of Rivers State and the governor, I would want to assume, is not deluded by the fact, up to this point now, by the fact that he signed that document and that the president that he's giving that respect to is actually respecting the fact that he is the governor of Rivers State and not the president of Nigeria. It's not the governor of Rivers State. You can see very clearly by what is going on that these people who the law up till today, as far as we are concerned, are no longer the representatives of the people, are using this opportunity to continue to frustrate not only the governor, but the people of Rivers State and the progress of Rivers State. This is about a handful of people's personal issues with the governor of Rivers State. It has nothing to do with governance or the people of Rivers State. And we will continue not to accept this type of situation in Rivers State. It is unacceptable. People like Dr. Peter Odili, his wife, retired Justice Peter Odili, have stood up and are on the side of the people and on the side of the government. What these so-called lawmakers are doing will bring about something that will not be quenchable in Rivers State. They should be very careful.
All right, Madam Ankyo Briggs, one of the Rivers elders and as well as rights activists, we must thank you for your time and, of course, for your insight. We try to be away from issues that are subject of litigation or adjudication. Let the court determine all of that. But we must thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Moving on now, the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest region appear to be closing ranks ahead of the November governorship election in Ondo State, where they say the party will emerge victorious. The Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, shares that optimism with party members when he hosted leaders of the party from the region who converged on Ibadan to kickstart the process of reconciling PDP members in Ondo State. Governor Makinde explains that the PDP family has started speaking with one voice and that the PDP governorship candidate, Mr. Agbola Ajayi, and the leaders of the party will team up to ensure a strong showing at the polls and claim victory.
This meeting is one of its kind in a while. The meeting of members of the People's Democratic Party executive in the Southwest Zone.
The updates from
With 3 serving governors and former governors in attendance, they converge on the Presidential Lodge in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The host, Governor Seyi Makinde, explains that the gathering kickstarts the process of reconciling PDP members in Ondo State with a united purpose, as he adds that PDP leaders and stakeholders from across the 6 Southwest states are behind the Ondo PDP candidate.
We've spoken as one family, and our candidate has also been able to key into that process. So for us, people should expect a very strong showing from PDP in Ondo State in November. And by the grace of God, if this is holding with our leaders from across the Southwest, staying behind our candidates in Ondo State, I think it's a very strong signal.
On his part, the governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke, says that with the gathering, the process of reconciliation amongst members have started, and every member in the zone will be carried along and work on the same wavelength to achieve success in November's poll.
It's a family affair. We just came over here to meet our brother here, the governor of Oyo State, to deliberate on PDP affairs in Ondo State. And of course, to congratulate our candidate, Agbola, to have won the primary. And of course, the primary went very well. Everybody knew that PDP is a Democrat, and everything followed. They followed everything with due process, and that's why we had to congratulate him, and to, of course, to start reconciliation.
The leader has spoken. They are leading, and we will follow. I thank them for their support, massive support from the national, especially the 2 Southwest governors, Governor Seyi Makinde and Governor Adeleke of Osun State. They have shown tremendous support and encouragement for the party in the Southwest, particularly as it affects the forthcoming governorship election in Ondo State. And I thank all of them for their support. By the grace of God, victory is ours.
This reconciliation move by the leaders is set to better strengthen members across the zone, and one would as well wait to see the level of cooperation that the candidate will get to attain his desire of being the governor of Ondo State.
We're not done yet. Let's also tell you that the issue around the Edo State House of Assembly has been on for a while. The recent one being that the Speaker, Blessing, announced the suspension of 3 lawmakers over what he described as impeachment plot to remove him and some political officers of the House. The affected lawmakers are Donald Okogbe of the PDP, representing Akoko Edo 1, Bright Iyamo, also of the PDP, representing Orion 1 South, and Eddie Sibo of the All Progressives Congress, representing Esan North East. The Speaker accused the 3 lawmakers of being backed by external forces to cause chaos and destabilize the Assembly. Well, our eyes are still right there to find out what plays out in the coming days as far as that assembly issue is concerned. But that's it on the program. Thank you for your time and company. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics.